ready, Mr. Keller.
Okay. All right, let's call the meeting to order. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Orlando?
Here.
Mr. Cox?
Here.
Mr. Kella?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Rusinellos?
Here.
Mr. Walden?
Okay. Let's see here. Petition V4-16, vacation of a 20-foot wide public utility and drainage easement system located at 1738 Terminal Court. The applicant in this matter is Werner Enterprises. The status of the applicant is the owner of the property. Requested action is vacation of a 20-foot wide public utility and drainage easement system. The purpose is to allow construction of a trucking facility. Existing zoning is I-2, which is general industrial zoning. Location, again, is 1738 Terminal Court. The size of the easement is 20-foot wide. Existing land use, undeveloped industrial. Surrounding land use and zoning to the north is undeveloped industrial, and that's I-2 zoning. To the south, industrial, I-2 zoning. To the east, industrial, unincorporated Will County. To the west, industrial, I-2. Site history. As part of the city's non-jurisdictional review authority, a preliminary plat of the Centerpoint Joliet Park District subdivision was approved in April 2005. The annexation zoning classification to I-2 and approval of an annexation agreement was approved in March 2012. A revised preliminary plat, final plat, and recording plat were approved in August 2012. Subsequent units have been recorded from July 2013 through June 2016 under special information. The petitioner wishes to vacate the 20-foot wide public utility and drainage easement in order to construct a new trucking terminal for Werner Enterprises. The vacation is needed because if left in its current location, it would encroach beneath the future 73,000 square foot building. Additional existing easements will remain in order to service the site. The city's Public Works and Utilities Department is in favor of the vacation, and as of the writing of this staff report, there has been no opposition from any affected utility companies to this particular request. The Community Design Review Board met on October 12. Minutes of that meeting are available. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. May we have the petitioner, please? State your name and address.
Chris Papish, I'm with Geotech at 1207 Cedarwood Drive in Crest Hill.
Anything to add to the report?
No, sir.
Okay. Any questions from the commission?
Yeah, I have one question. The property over there, they have, where all the blacktop is, they have the drainage ditches. Is that what you're talking about, eliminating all the drains?
The drains themselves will still remain in place. The area in question would be the north. It's a trench drain that runs across the center of that blacktop parking lot. As it stands right now, we're planning on constructing the building in the center of the property on top of that storm drain, which we would ultimately need to relocate to the outside of the building.
Okay, that storm drain, the one that you're not going to take out, is that the one that serviced Building C, I think it was, in D building, back when Caterpillar owned it? Is that the one you're talking about? Runs down the middle of the road?
Runs through the middle of the asphalt parking lot on the north side.
Okay.
There's actually, there's multiple easements out there.
Yeah.
That the only thing that's in the easements is storm pipe. But the easements were established because through the process of development, this site was actually a total of 4 lots. And in the latest subdivision, it's been combined into a single lot for our developer.
Okay. I took a ride out there, and I noticed there's a fence. There's the blacktop area where you first go in. Mm-hmm. Then there's a cyclone fence. And to the south of the cyclone fence, there's another blacktop area, and then concrete.
Yes.
Well, at one time, there used to be a well there. It was 1,200-foot well, 1,200 foot deep. Is that what is that going to be eliminated too, or is it already, maybe it's already eliminated, I don't know.
I'm not aware of any such a water well in that area.
Okay.
I mean, we could inquire about that with the company that did the design for the site.
Because I notice there's fire hydrants out along the side of the property now, right? They'll be all tied into the city then?
They are. The ones that run along Terminal Court should already be, I believe.
And then that new building will be tied in with the city water
sir.
then? Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, for our engineering, we've gone over, so what they needed in the first place out there, whether that was set aside, is that going to be addressed, that they'll have plenty to take care of it now?
As far as capacity,
As far as if they needed a drainage then why don't they need it now? Or is it going to be put someplace else?
they'll relocate it to, like you said, to right now, the drainage is underneath where the proposed building will be, so when the site plan comes in, they'll have to provide drainage for the site. So it'll just get relocated to,
So is that in the plans that they given to you to, okay?
yes, that'll be part of the plans too, yes.
Okay.
I got one more question. Is there going to be a retention pond on that property, just for that property?
No, they're not. The on-site, the existing stormwater detention for the entire development either drains to the north to the existing basin up along Route 6,
Okay.
or drains straight directly to the Des Plaines River.
Okay, I got you.
And any portion of the property that naturally drains to the river, it's direct discharge, so detention's not required for that portion of the entire property.
How much drains down to the river now?
Is it
Probably have.
about half of the site right now?
About half of that property?
The south half naturally goes to the river, so that's not required to be detained. The north half goes up to a detention basin, a regional basin up at the north end of it.
That's all just natural water in it?
Another thing, the property goes from the terminal court. When you go down terminal court, you make a left-hand turn. The property starts there. Warner starts right there. Well,
Actually, the limits of the property that they own start up at the intersection. When you come in where the stoplight is,
right.
if you go to the,
You go to the first.
I mean, I have the platification in my hand, and it was up on the screen to show you the actual overall limits of what they own.
I got a pretty good idea. The property that they own, but it goes does it go all the way to the back to where the other terminal is? There's a trucking, another
It comes
trucking
all the way
terminal?
south up to the north end of.
There's a guardrail, I think, a guardrail or a cyclone fence back there?
Yes, there is a fence separating the two properties.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then it goes from the west side of Terminal Court. How far east does it go?
It goes about 700 feet east.
Is that where the second entrance is you can get?
The second entrance comes into our property as well,
Okay, I know where you're at.
as
Okay.
you're going east away from Terminal Court. And then when you get to that fence line where the gate crosses that road,
Right,
that's existing Caterpillar
okay,
facility, and we own up to that fence line.
okay. All right, and then that'll all be for drainage then, all that section of property, Warner's going to take care of the drainage then, right? For that piece of property, that whole area. That'll be
Yes.
just Warner's retention problem, right? The water retention problem.
It will be, but it'll drain off-site into the existing detention facility that's there.
Okay,
You can see it from Route 6. It's the area that has a lot of trees growing
right.
in it and around it.
Looks like a forest.
Correct.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
All right, any more questions? Anybody from the audience have a question? Nobody? Okay. So there's a motion's in order for V-4-16.
I make a motion that we approve.
Okay, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Orlando?
Yes.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Rosanellos?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye. So that's the only thing we have on our agenda. The other one was tabled, right?
Yeah, that was withdrawn. It may or may not come back at some point in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a special reason why it was withdrawn, do you know?
The developer had not actually drawn the elevations up. We do have a rendering, but our requirements are for full-blown elevation drawings.
So they weren't prepared yet.
It wasn't really prepared
For
yet. So.
engineering, right?
Not for engineering, just architectural.
Oh,
This would be an architectural review to amend the original PUD. What the proposal is for, instead of a 3-story structure, they want to do a 2.5-story structure. So because it was approved as a PUD, any change or modification, it's got to come back before
Right.
before the Plan Commission. So
Okay.
when they're ready, they'll come forward.
Okay. So now we need the approval of the last month's minutes.
So
Second?
Second.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Rosanellos?
All right.
Mr. Orlando?
Aye.
Okay, that's the last thing on our agenda, so other than congratulations
Thank you.
to Kendall here for his new appointment.
Thank you.
So welcome, so we just need adjournment then.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.